So just a quick video to show how I control my car charging through Predbat. So I've actually got intelligent Octopus Go, but I don't control the car starting and stopping charging directly through that. I control it through the Predbat itself. And I'm just going to show you how I automate that and the reason behind it. Of course, you can automate this even without Octopus Go. You can just use the car charging planning inside Predbat itself and have it control your car. If you're just on something like Agile, for example, and you just want to pick the cheapest slots. So obviously it's important to set up the car inside Predbat properly. I'm just going to show you how it's connected in Home Assistant more generally. So if I look at my automations here, I've just got two automations, one when Predbat slot turns on and one when it turns off. So this starts the car charging and this stops it charging. So the slot on one, okay, so I have a trigger that says when Predbat car charging slot changes from off to on, or every 5 minutes. And the reason to do that is because triggers can be missed. Glitch happens in the system, you miss it, your car doesn't charge, that's really annoying. So you just want to check it every 5 minutes, but this means it's instant most of the time. When it starts, otherwise you might be waiting 5 minutes for it to start. So if you look at this one, so it's Predbat car charging slot is the one going from off to on. Then I have the conditions. So obviously in the conditions I've got the slot is on because this is running every 5 minutes. It needs to not happen if that's the case. I've also got another automation here that gates it. So I'm saying if wallbox solar automation is, it must be off as well. And so that's one of my automations I was using to try and charge from solar. So I don't want this to trigger at the same time. You can probably ignore that. Then I've got some things here related to my Tesla itself. So I've got essentially the car is not already charging, because if it's already charging, there's no need to do anything. I don't want to mess with it. And the car is plugged in because I can't do that. And that it's at home. What I don't want to do is trigger the charging when the car's plugged in somewhere else away from home, because it doesn't make any sense. But you have to do this for whatever your own car is. This is a Tesla interface, but different cars have their own interface, or you can interface directly to your car charger box. So then what I do is I press the wake up button in the car, so this kind of wakes the Tesla up, and that takes a few minutes. And then I've got a sort of a conditional here, so I say if my wall box, which is my charger, is locked, then unlock it, because the charger can be in a lock state. Then I wait a couple of minutes for the car to wake up and the charger to unlock. And then I've got some other things here. So then I've got something that if my car charger box is paused, then essentially I unpause it, and I'm just logging this state for some other automations. And I also set it to the maximum charging current of 32 amps. So the reason I set the current back to maximum is if I've been solar charging, I will have turned it down. Then I wait for a minute for this to happen, and then afterwards I go, well, if the car hasn't already started charging, because sometimes it'll just start charging once the wall box has been turned on, then I turn on the car charger, and then I just send a notification to my phone to say it started charging. So this is quite complicated, but yours could be pretty simple. You can just say whenever the slot is on, then start your car charging. And then I've got a slot off one, and I say whenever it changes to off, or every 5 minutes. When the slot is off, then as long as my solar automation isn't running, if the car's plugged in and at home, then if already I've got my car charger wall box is enabled and the car is charging, so if it's already doing both of those things, then essentially I'll say if the car's charging, then turn off the charger inside the car. So I tell the car to stop charging, and then I wait 5 seconds, and then I actually turn my wall box off as well. And I found this order is the only order that works for me reliably. If I stop the Tesla from charging and don't turn the wall box off, then Octopus Intelligent can override it and turn it back on again. I don't want Intelligent to be able to, or my Predbat to be able to control it directly. And similarly, if I pause the wall box and don't pause the car, then after a while, if it repeats, the Tesla goes into error and refuses to charge until you unplug it again, which is really annoying. I think it's a software bug, but anyway, that works for me. And then I send a notification. But anyway, it's a fairly simple automation. I've just played around with it to cover all the cases. And if those are together, then that should work. Obviously, on the actual Predbat side itself, just to show the configuration, it's actually pretty much what's already checked in the standard config. But let me just find the car part of it. So I've only got one car. This then I've got car charging planned. Is essentially I use my wall box description to say that the car is plugged in, and then I'm essentially I set the car charging limit to my Tesla automation, the battery level to that. It's not actually strictly required on Intelligent Go, but if you're not using Intelligent Go, you're going to need something. So Predbat knows the battery level and how much is left. And I have the intelligence slot set, so it knows when intelligence dispatching a slot, and that will control the rates in Predbat, and then Predbat will decide that because the rates are low, the car should charge essentially as well. And that's it really. The ready time and the charge limit are actually not needed when the intelligence slot's on, but I've got them here set as an example. Now, actually, sorry, these are needed in the newer integration now. Actually, this is coming out of the Octopus Energy integration in a different sense. It used to be inside the slot, but now it's not. So that's why they're there. But obviously, if you were using Predbat to plan instead, you wouldn't need the Octopus Intelligent part. You would just need the charging limit and the state of charge and the battery size, and then you could set the smart planning, and then with that automation, it would all take care of it. Okay, thanks then.